Okay, we're gonna do the last two lessons of chapter 9. They're both pretty short, so I'm just gonna do both in one day. Okay, the first one is lesson 9.6, and it's on leasing a vehicle. So a lease is pretty much a long-term rental. When you lease a car, people have the option when you need a car, you can either buy it or lease it. When you lease it, you're renting it, but for a few years. And then at the end of the lease, you can just return the car. And that's called a closed-end lease, so you just return it. Or you have the option of buying it for whatever value it has. It's called a residual value. If you have the option of buying it, it's called an open-end lease. It doesn't mean you have to buy it, but you have the option to. So that's what a lease is. Now, how much does it cost if you want to lease a car? It's going to cost you a certain amount per month. So every month you make a monthly payment, just like when you buy it, but it'll be lower because it's a lease. And then you decide, do I want to have the car for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Then you need to leave a deposit. And then the title fee and the license fee. These are like the DMV fees that you have for the car. So some of the benefits of having a lease is that they're new cars, so you don't have to worry about breaking down. I mean, they do break down, but it's not as much as an old car. And then at the end of the lease, you just return it. And then you don't worry about anything. But it could be expensive because you're paying every month, and then at the end, you have nothing. You just return it, and then now you either have to buy a car or lease it again, or you won't have a car. So we're going to go over the cost of leasing the vehicle. Okay, here's an example. So let's say that Ralph is going to lease a truck, and every month he's going to pay $199 to have that truck. And he's going to lease it for 60 months or 5 years, and he needs to leave a deposit of $2,500, and then he pays a one-time fee of $80 for the title and $45 for the license. So what would be the total cost of the lease? Okay, so we'll be using this formula. The total cost is the number of payments multiplied by how much you have to pay plus these three things: deposit, title fee, and license fee. Okay, so we're gonna look for those. Okay, so it's gonna be $199 for 60 months. So you multiply 199 times 60. In addition to that, he has the deposit for $2,500, the title fee, and the license fee. So you just add that. Okay, so this is the deposit, title fee, license fee, and then you multiply this. So he's going to end up paying $14,565 for 5 years to have that pickup truck, to lease it for 5 years. And then at the end of 5 years, he returns it, or he can buy it for whatever amount it's worth. And that's it. So you add these three things, and then you multiply the number of payments times how much, and then you add that as well, and that would be your total lease. So let's do one more example. Okay, so let's say that Toshiro wants to lease a minivan, and it's going to be $229 a month for 39 months. The deposit is $1,000, title fee, license fee. So it's going to be the same thing. You multiply the 229 times 39, and then whatever you get, you add these three things, the other three fees. So it looks like this. So this is the monthly payment for 39 months, and then that's the deposit, title fee, license fee. You add everything. So if she wants to rent that car or lease it for 39 months, it's going to cost her about $10,000, $10,037 to be exact. And that's it. So it's a very straightforward lesson. As long as you use this formula, and I'll send you a copy of the notes, you'll get the total cost of the lease.